Shalom, and praises be unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakodash. Double honor unto the elder apostles, the elder bishops at Great Millstone, who are well and to us his truth. And this is just a quick one. That gonorrhea and syphilis, STIs, which is sexually transmitted infections. Diagnosis in England hit record levels, the latest figures show. And gonorrhea is otherwise colloquially known as the clap, and that's going around in England. It's been around, but as it says, the numbers are shockingly record high. Annual figures from the UK's Health Security Agency shows gonorrhea diagnosis increased to 82,592 cases in 2022, which shows an increase of 50.3% compared with 2021, which was at 54,000 cases, 961. This is the highest number of diagnoses in any 1 year since records began in 1918. People aged between 50, I'm just jumping paragraphs here, just hitting some key points. People aged between 15 and 24 years old are the most likely to be diagnosed with sexually transmitted infections due to changing sexual partners more often than other age groups. Yeah, that's pretty much it. More cases than before. Now, these things wouldn't be the case if sexual perversion and pretty much wasn't a thing, but it is a thing according to biblical prophecy. Now, a woman, we know according to our law in the Torah, thru, which is the law, the instructions, right? A woman is to be of one husband, okay, and a man can have, according to the law, as many wives as he wants, albeit under the proviso he is able to provide for them all, provide the basic necessities unto a wife, which is food, shelter, raiment, and love and attention. Okay, you can't just marry because the guys coming to Israel think, oh yeah, I can have multiple wives, and then you pay more attention to one and neglect the other, and no. That just creates a society which will soon dwindle away. Okay, if you have something, you have to be able to maintain it. This ain't the Bible. Don't work like Esau's system. They'll give you something on credit, or finance, knowing full well an individual can't pay it, and then they just trap that person in debt. And their credit score goes down and stuff like that. No, Esau will give you something knowing full well you can't pay it. In the scriptures, you can't take something out, unless you're able to handle it, man. You couldn't just take wives and then not look after them. So under the proviso, you're able to look after them equally and stuff like that. Then you could have as many wives as you want. Okay, now that's a different story compared to the time we're living in. All right, that's a completely different curveball in that matter. It's not wise right now, but as according to law, you can have multiple wives. All right, but the wisdom on a health level behind this is that women are incubators and men are givers. Okay, men give and women provide a warm slash multiplying effect on whatever a man can provide. The sources of the man and the nurturing is of the woman. All right, you give a woman a house, you pay the bills or whatever the case may be, you provide a roof over her head. She can use that environment and make it a home. She makes it warm, she makes it comforting, she makes it an environment where you want to come home to. That's how it should be. But you provided the essentials of the roof and four walls. You give a woman a life form, seed, she incubates it, she grows it along with her egg, and in return you get a baby. So the way the Lord made men and women is that men are to be the providers and give the initial core fundamentals, life form, resources, And a woman's job is to nurture it and to grow it and to help it, thus fulfilling their purpose of the word woman, Ayasha, which is a helpmeet unto a man, from man. Okay, you know, but you can do the history, the mods on the rock as sexual liberation after the Second World War, I believe, and other things. The devil's put things in place with social media as well. Even before social media was a thing, just liberation packs and things of that nature. Women have become more promiscuous and wanton, which is biblical prophecy. And you really get diseases. I mean, yes, there's things that Esau puts out there, but you really get these type of diseases when women sleep around, and also when men sleep with men. Okay, now what I want to do is read this. This is the book of Amos, chapter 7, verse 17. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and they shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth out of his land. Okay, but dealing with the first part of this, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city. That's a major thing. These women, they're harlots, man. Now the scriptures and the law speaks about, mixing seed. Is that not that land greatly polluted? Talking of the woman, man. You know, um, when a woman has more than one sexual partner, she becomes polluted. And again, you're the one injecting into her. She don't ejaculate into you. You know, you ejaculate into her. And pretty much along with a lot of fluids. When women have slept around, they harbor that. When a man nuts off in a woman, some of the sperm cells actually go to her head. And that goes back to Genesis, bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. Um, you know, yeah, we know the breakdown for that. A near kin, which is the deep sleep Adam fell under. But when you sleep with a woman, the scripture says the two shall become one, because the spirit of the man is now hosting that woman. You know, So that's why they say couples that have been married for a long time, they tend to start looking like each other. But there's already been an internal reflection. The woman starts thinking like the man. She adopts his customs, the way he does things, and things of that nature, because he's literally put his DNA in her head, man. You know, and there was that cheesy ass song I remember back in the day. I forget the name of the label. It had all kind of people up in there, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj. This was like before Cardi B time. Take it to the head, yeah, yeah. Don't think about it, be about it. There was that take it to the head. Well, when you get with your wife, and you let off in some sperm die along the way. The sperm that hits the egg and fertilizes becomes a baby. But then some sperm goes to the head. It's taken to the head, and literally she's meant to be a biological copy of you. You know. So imagine that. You can get on a spiritual level, which is quite scary, man. But on a physical level, when seeds start mixing, this guy's seed and that guy's seed and everything that's all up in there, it creates pollution, diseases, man. So you got the wives being harlots, and that's pretty much a reason, man. You want to be careful with these women you sleep with, man. You just want to be careful, man. Want to be careful. Like back in the day, you could kind of go in the spirit and, nah, man, she's cool. But these days, I wouldn't even do that, man. You know, I wouldn't even do that. Like, if you're gonna get with a woman, make sure shit is in order and shit is straight, because you dip it in, and your sword is coming out rusted, brother. You catching all kind of things, because these women are nasty out here, man. You know, so as they said, the age group is predominantly 15 to 24, because that's when the age group people are excited, and even after that, and just sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, as they say. And then you got a lot of men that are down low, man. You got a lot of down low niggas, that they have so-called girlfriends and wives and fiancés and partners and things of that nature. But a lot of guys be fucking each other, man. You know, they be fucking each other, they be sucking each other's dicks and stuff, and they claim to be boys, brethren, homies, friends, cuz, and all of that shit. But they be getting down and they be passing things, and they'll go and sleep with their women. You know, so that's ridiculous. This is First Corinthians 7:1. Um, Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, which is adultery, let every man have his own wife, and every woman have her own husband. You know, so that way, on a sexual health level, you lot's information is kept in between you two because DNA is information. When you start mixing fluids and stuff, that's when it becomes quite bad, man. Okay. Now, if a man is circumcised, and the law stipulates in Leviticus, the either 15th chapter or 16th chapter, it talks about bathing and washing, after certain things. A woman washing after her period, purification, 7 days, and all of that. You've got, for cuts, leakage, if you cut yourself. You've also got for sexual impurity. Okay, after you lie with a woman, you copulate with her. You're both unclean until evening. You're both meant to wash your body fully in running water. That doesn't mean you can't have a bath. It doesn't mean the water needs to be literally running. Like a shower. You can have a shower, you can have a bath, but running water. When you get into the word there, it means from a spring. It needs to be a fresh water source, not no stagnant water. The water is a fresh water source. And obviously we're in hell. Water comes through the tank and boiler and shit, but we're rehearsing, man. But if it's a fresh water source, aka from a river or stream, you use that water and you wash and you'll become clean again. Okay, yeah, you're going to be in the presence of the Lord and in the camp, but on a physical level, it purifies you because sex makes you ceremonially unclean, physically unclean. So if a man is circumcised and he's washing after sex, he could go and have sex with another one of his wives, then wash again and have sex with another one of his wives, and he's not transferring germs. Okay, yeah, but when there's no circumcision and you can't wash properly or you're not washing at all, and you're jumping from woman to woman, then yeah, that can even pass things in that nature as well. But again, we're not in a time of having multiple wives. That's going to be common knowledge in the kingdom, you know. Just following through the law, which will be in our inward parts, But if you have your own partner, then you're cool, man. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, likewise also the wife unto the husband. So you can't deny your partner of sex, you know. That, and it's not a one-way thing for men. Men seem to think, oh, it's only when I want it. No, women burn too. If your woman is coming on to you or she's mentioning it, yeah, there's some days you're tired from work, you don't want to do it, fair enough. But you can't consistently put your woman off because they burn especially when they're younger, they burn just as much as men. So if a woman wants you to lay the pipe, you gotta lay the pipe, man. Likewise, when you wanna do your thing, man, she gotta be in the mood for you. Okay? Because yeah, that saves, you neglecting your partner and then they go and do something stupid and sleep with someone else. Yeah, that's adultery, that's fornication, all of that. But then next thing you know, she caught something, you know. Or you go and sleep with another man's wife and you shouldn't be doing that, and then you caught something, you know. And this is pretty much how it all happens. This is why you got stupid numbers like 82,000 and 50.3% increase in STIs and stuff because people ain't following through with this in the kingdom. Guess what? The nation's going to have to follow through with this. We're not going to tolerate adultery from the nations in the kingdom, and if it happens, you know, then which it will, because they're not going to be perfect, then the just punishments will be stipulated, man. You know, your death penalty is pretty much what it is. Okay, you know, the wife have no power over her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband have no power over his own body, but the wife. Meaning that if your partner wants it, you gotta give it, man. You know, straight up, man. But this whole cheating, this whole having sex with multiple people a day, and sex is so accessible and easy these days. It's crazy, man. No wonder why these things are happening. But yeah, man. You know, this just shows you that this is an unhealthy society, and it's on the way out, man. You know, you know. The news is telling us over in England, man. Careful who you sleep with. You know, careful whose cheeks you want to be in. You know, I speak candidly, man. You know, just because then Jake, man, we love the legs and the shape and the bum and the thighs and you know, the flat belly but not too flat. You want a little bit of the natural body. Come on, man. We Jake, we all have our different preferences and all that, but we know what we like, man. You know what gets you going. You can't just be falling for the looks now, man, because it's been dangerous out here, man. It's been dangerous out here. She may look good, and then you get there and you get stung, man. So just have to be careful, man. And these are that amount, man. Shalom.